And we're live. Welcome to Movie Crap Live. How y'all doing tonight? It's nice to be here with you this evening, this Thursday evening as we do. And what up, Javier Portello? I love seeing what up, Jim, there. That was cool. Let me make sure before I send. I don't want to hear about. I can't even drive. That doesn't help me. What? Anyway, hello Sinram. Hello William Allman. Hello Purple Cube. Hello Austin. Hello K Master. I'm assuming I'm live. Oh, is that me? We're live. What? Okay. I don't like to send it out before I know. Even though Cornbread, not here. Feels weird. I hope they're okay. I hope so. But we'll see. Maybe they'll stop by later. I'm genuinely, because Cornbread's here at everything, I'm a little worried. I hope they're okay. But anyway, I'm sure Cornbread is fine. Cornbread does not have to be here every morning. Hello, Gary. Hello. Is there anyone else I forgot? Purple Goop, William Ellman, Austin, Javier Partello, Sinram, everybody, Gary. Hello, what is up? We are here today on another exciting episode. What? There's Cornbread. Okay, I was concerned. I was gonna send someone to do a wellness check. Hello, Jordy Hart, and we are here. I think you know. I'm pretty sure y'all can tell I'm not in the kitchen. I tried to do a game once, but I am not. I am actually here. Yay! To be honest, this chair is more comfortable than that chair. That's my main motivation. Zodberg is here. Embla T. YouTube is broken? Was it not sending a notification? That sucks, man. I hate it when it does that shit. Anyway, what are you gonna do? Anyway, is it like broken or it just didn't get a notification? I was not following anything. Anyway, how are y'all doing? I hope you're all doing good today. I feel like the summer movie season is in full swing here. We're really getting into it. There's a lot of big movies. It's going to be a little crazy. But here, I want to talk about a few things before we get into the show. Obviously, I'm in New York since the last time the Knicks won the NBA Finals, and it was crazy that night. There were fireworks. I got to see the very end of it, and thank you for reminding me. I did send them. Don't worry. Oh, sorry, Emily. But yeah, it was crazy. New York is very into the Knicks. Hold on. I get a notification for shit I ain't even subscribed to. I'll do Javier Portello says Paul Blart gets hexed and Shrek. I guess hexed and Shrek. Okay, I will reveal also the energy drink, which is, I think we've done this one before. And I'm sorry this isn't the most crazy one. To be honest, I think we've had a bunch of crazy ones. It is Celsius, but it's cherry cola. I think we've just done cola. I'm not sure if anyone remembers. I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. We don't really keep track of the energy drinks, but cheers to you. I should, and I wanted to make a video where it was all the different ones, but I never. Anyway, cheers to y'all. Okay, that was pretty good. Thank you, Javier Portello, for the super chat. Okay, moving on. Delaware's Pride 2. I think I'll end up seeing that on Disney Plus. Yes. The Knicks thing was crazy. I'll say the parade thing was so wild that on my way to work, they kept shutting down. They kept going past subway stations on my way, which was a little holy shit, what is going on? It didn't affect my commute, but it was wow. At some point, they skipped 3 stops and the train said, you can walk from here, I guess. I don't know. Sorry. But every station would be people full of Knicks jerseys. It's nuts how much cities into this. Oh, William Allman. Wow, that was early. Says, Jim, rumors say you sprayed a fire extinguisher on everyone from top of an NYC bus during the Knicks parties are the a fire. First off, possibly. I'm not going to deny those things. I will say the opening up of fire hydrants is a big New York City tradition. That if the ones around us, I usually get the kids. If I'm like, we got to do this, it's fun. Sometimes it's just like I'm jumping around, but it can get aggressive. I was on there, I was jumping around. I heard people at various workplaces were like checking the live streams to see people who called out that day were for various different places of work. They were there or not, which I thought was funny. Anyway, cheers to you, Willow, and cheers to you. But yeah, I saw fireworks. I saw so many different Crate Busters next to me. Yeah, I saw fireworks that night, which was the orange and blue. I saw so many different people are very into the Knicks right now. It is, hey Alex, what's up? It is, I don't know what that was. It is fucking nuts out here. Whoa, what's going on? Okay. There's a lot of super chat. I will do the flashy thing. I want to talk about the flashy thing tonight because there's a special case on this. But anyway, Nick's thing is wild. It's crazy. And I also, in New York, I think I maybe said this last week. I'll say what I'm going to say and then I'll get to you sooner. I apologize for making you wait. I haven't lived in a sports town in like a sports event taking over a town since like the Ravens were in the 2000 Super Bowl because I moved up here in 2002. Like, New York has won Super Bowls, and I will say the 2008 one shocked everyone. But, like, this is this is like the 2000s Ravens, where it, like, took over a town. And, like, the Yankees, like, they give one a couple times. It is really, like, kind of a crazy, all-encompassing takeover thing I have not seen since I lived in Baltimore with, like, especially the Orioles and the Ravens. It's, like, it's kind of nice, though. It's like, oh, I haven't experienced this in a long time. So can you say the thing? What is the thing? Okay, hold on. We got to go back. Okay, after these two, I will actually do them because you guys have been very nice to me and you deserve it. But I want to get through a few things I want to talk about. My YouTube is ad free. My playlists are 5 by 5. My stopwatch is cooking. Jim is live. All right, that was pretty. I didn't know what you were doing at first. I was like, is he defending YouTube? I was like, not. And now when I read it, I was like, wow, let's do a cheers to Cinnamon. That was good, man. That was good. Cheers to you. Then we had imagine if the Grinch fights Paul Blart. You know what? I think Paul would win. Well, if it's the Chuck Jones one, I think the Grinch would win. If it's the Ron Howard one, I mean, just saying that comparison, I think you know the answer. But cheers to you, Slap Jockey. In non-Knicks things, to update the rewatch we're doing of Star Wars, and we're watching the despecialized cuts, which I'm glad I'm finally doing with my kids. I think they deserve to see the original Star Wars. I will get to that KKVB. There's a lot of this. So I watched the original Empire Strikes Back, and as you know, previously on Movie Crap Live, I talked about how I didn't think there was a big it was the one with the least amount of changes of any of the special editions, and it's the one that bothered me the least, even though I still do not like that they change it, but that's what I'm saying. Anyway, all right. Let's do you doing okay. It's gonna go for it because I didn't check, but I know that is past the thing. Okay. So I just watched the Empire Strikes Back on a previous movie crap. You're aware of this. So we rewatched it because Sophie hadn't watched it, watched them in order and despecialized. First off, Cloud City is so different. It's dramatic. It's like Art Deco in the original. It reminds me of the Buck Rogers serial stuff. I've seen some serials. I'm not an expert on it. That'd be a cool weekly thing. The serial killer. Today we're talking about but one day. Yes, Cloud City is so much better. All matte paintings in this cool Art Deco style, very much calling back to the Buck Rogers stuff. And I will say this, I have no proof of this, but I watched them pretty semi close together within a month or so. The editing flow is different. It feels better. It flows better in the despecialized cut. I think I would have said before it's a better movie, but after watching it, It's kind of sucks what they did to Empire Strikes Back, because it is I do consider it fairly close to the original in quality. And yeah, it's like they do like cool tone, like color tones in the original Empire that they definitely mute down in the special edition, especially with the Luke uh, De- Darth Vader fight, which it feels so much more dramatic because of those. Like, there's a lot of like subtler changes, and I guess there's more of the snow monster in the special edition, but it really adds up. And there's two moments where like they're having a lightsaber fight and Luke, and he takes a moment and there's silence. That plays better, as well as right before the walkers come up in Hoth plays better as well. And I noticed the moments of quietness play better than it was in Empire. So what I'm saying is, after seeing it, I noticed what was taken from me, and I do not think the complicated Manhattan, Midtown, New York City, Cloud City works as well. I like the movie New York Cloud City. Uh, it was redubbed. I didn't know that. How much they pay him for that? That's like that's a lot for a. What is going on? Can it just go away? Okay. Sorry, just a thing. Okay, I wanted to say that because I rewatched it, and yes, and we're gonna do Jedi, which is when I was a kid was like my favorite movie, so that's gonna be fun. A pre Father's Day movie there. The other thing is, I watched with my wife last night. We were folding laundry, and she just had this thing on, and I kind of like sometimes just go with something. I didn't know what it was. I didn't even look at the title or ask, because I was like, let's just go for this. And uh, um, I will say, it was called Maternal Instinct, and that was fucking nuts, and was a lot of fun. As a Netflix doc, that is one of the holy shit. No, I like Return, and also it has Yub Yub, and Oscar's really into Ewoks, and he doesn't know about Yub Yub yet, so that's gonna be fun because they took out Yub Yub. They have like this new age bullshit, which is like, I don't understand why you take out Yub Yub. Like, if I destroyed like fascism, I would want to listen to Yub Yub. I wouldn't want to listen to new age bullshit. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. But if I destroy all fascism for like a good year or two, I'm gonna blast Yub Yub. I think that's cool. Like, let's and also lots of P Funk probably. But like, Yub Yub would be on the playlist. You'd be like, fuck yeah. I mean, I think that would not be the first song. That is like, you are mad drunk at that point. But still, what do you think back on it? Good times. Anyway, sorry. A couple video things. One, the channel has crossed, is now past 16,000 subscribers. I know I'm a small channel compared to most, but I am going to take some pride in that on the stream. I haven't actually celebrated it whatsoever, so I'm celebrating it right fucking now. But yes, I will say I passed 16,000, so nobody unsubscribe at all. Please don't do that. Maybe get more people. That would be cool too, but don't do that, because we're at this thing now. That my trolls review. After I stopped trolls from proceeding to make two more movies and a spinoff. Also in other video stuff, thank you, Sinrim. In other video stuff, I'll say this video has been sort of a weird um or this sorry, where were we? This week was a little weird, and I needed to go to sleep early because I knew last night, so I couldn't finish something, and things have been delayed and all that. I think tomorrow will be a short, probably, for My Adventures of Superman, the first episode of season 3. That's the only one I'm going to review. You'll hear about more of that later. And finally, my video of every Nelvana show ever, which we've been working on fucking forever, is going to come out, I'm fairly sure, Saturday. I don't know if we'll have a time specifically like I usually do, but I need this fucking thing out. I think it'll come out at a reasonable time. I will, thank you, William Ullman. I will let you all know about that. I think there might be a community post. We will see. But I would like to do the every show ever continue, because people really like them, and I'd like to continue them. And I will say that, yes, we are going to do the every Nelvana show ever is coming out this weekend. I'm going to announce it here, so watch out for that. And then I wanted to do Disclosure Day, but I shot too much footage, so it's taking me longer to edit. So anyway, just to share that. The other thing, and if you've seen I forget, the chat went by it, and a couple people have asked me that. They said, "Oh, your channel's having an anniversary soon," and I was confused about that. So to explain that, hey Nico, you want to hang out? Can they see Nico? Okay, you can sort of see Nico. I'm not gonna make. Do you want to go on camera? Nico hangs out with Nico's. You want to? Oh, you want to just sit in my lap? Here, can you say hi? Hi. Okay. She's young. She's actually not even 1 year old yet. Where are we? Okay, sorry. Um, to explain that to all of you, since we're talking about the channel and so forth, I'm sorry we're going on for a bit in this section, but I think we have good stuff here. I started the channel originally; it was just my short films from college. For from 2006 to 2009, I look at the official start of this channel in August 2009. I don't know if I'll celebrate it when we get to uh, 2029. We'll see. It's also like the same day I got married because I just put it up real quick and uploaded it and then like got married and stuff. So I don't know if I do it on that day, probably a different day. And I'll tell that maybe I'll do a video about starting the channel and all that stuff, which is bizarre. Yeah, but basically, yes, technically, but I look at it as the you can wish me happy anniversary. That is fine, but I personally look at the start of what we were doing now in 2009. To be clear, maybe don't have the tail in my face though. Just to clear that up. Okay. So before we get into the thing, I'll let this go until the first story because you guys were really generous at the beginning, and that was really fucking nice of y'all. What was I gonna say? Oh, the flashing things. I'm gonna have that go back during Partysaurus Rex. I think that's appropriate. So up until Partysaurus Rex, it's triggered by um, super chats, but Partysaurus Rex, we're just doing the. I think that's fair. I think that makes sense. I think that's appropriate. Just to be clear. Although it's gonna be weird, I kind of made these because one day I could make a compilation of these, and then suddenly at the end it's a different set. But whatever, this is more. And I have a cat on my lap. This is fucking awesome. All right. Um, let's start this off. This and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, uh either through super chats during the show, where if you give me a super chat, I will drink this awesome energy drink. And then if we get you $20, past $20, this will go flash for Scarlett Art. And if we get past 40, ow. Okay. Wait, where's the. Let's say my monitor like I'm a. If we get past 40, we'll get Godzilla. And where's Godzilla at now? That was kind of long. The only toy my kids have that makes me think Toy Story is real is that one because I'm never sure how long the sound's gonna be, and it makes me think. I don't know. Anyway, yes, you'll get before you get Godzilla every multiple of that. There's also the Patreon, which has all sorts of cool stuff like my commentary stories, more power in the movie review vote. You get to learn the totals and what happened in the movie review vote, as well as postcards, access to my public access show, and all sorts of cool stuff like that. It's really cool. It's a great way to help support to continue to do what I do now that we're at 16,000, if that's an incentive and all that. And if this is all, of course, if you're financially able to do so. And you should join up Patreon because after I finish every Nirvana show ever, hopefully sometime this summer, I am going to do sort of a push of the Patreon. And so you can get in there first and be like, oh, I was there before that. And even if it's right before, I won't tell him. I'll be like, he's been here forever. What are you talking about? This argument you're having that I made up. Anyway, this is, of course, also if you're financially able to do so. If not, liking this video, if you have a YouTube account, subscribing, and turning on notifications if you would like to do that. That way you can learn about instant premieres and the community posts and all that. If you don't, that's fine. I'm just telling you the options there. But if you are just watching this channel and you do not have a YouTube account, there are lots of people who do that. As I remind you every week, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. It's very cool of you to watch this channel and watch this. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being cool. Although I saw I think a class, every now and then I get this surge of the What is Auteur Theory video just randomly in 1 hour. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure an online class, I'll just watch this video. I'm like, pretty sure. I'm like, I don't have proof, but pretty sure. So if you were in that class, thanks for watching. Or if you're here from the tweet that did really well, that was surprising, which I'll talk about in a second. Also, there is the Discord, which is a really wonderful community. It has there. I don't think they're doing a movie watch this week, but they did a movie watch last week. It has all sorts of cool stuff like General, where we ask a daily question. There's movie news discussions. There's the Ask Jim channel. There's suggestions for Jim channel. There's a lot of interactivity, and if you like everyone here, it's a really cool community to join. It's run amazingly well by Zane Powers, Austin, Ryan Walterson, and Cornbread. Did I say it right? It's run by those guys. You know the guys. Also, I'm trying to be more active in the music one because I was thinking I should share. I listen to so much music. I never tell anyone, a lot of people, about it. So I'm going to try to actually be... oh, you're watching the original Hairspray? Oh, that's awesome. You mean like not the musical. Like okay, seriously? Like that is obviously disruptive. Come on. Okay, now you're going to sit down and be good. Now you're going to see Nico and my Bond here. Okay, that's awesome. We're watching the original Hairspray. I love that. Anyway, that's a great movie. I've watched that movie a lot of times. But yeah, I'm going to try to post more on the music thing. I posted one today, and I want to post more stuff. That's not really a sign of let's do it a little bit, but I was thinking about it because I watched Empire Strikes Back. Anyway, Michael, what movie are you talking about? Say the title because that makes it a little. Oh, Nico's gone. All right, let's. The musical is fun too. I do like, my daughter likes the musical a lot. What I learned when I was setting this up is, with the colors, green works better in the kitchen, red works better out here. That's what I decided. Anyway, all right, let's talk about Shrek 5. We finally got the trailer for the 5th Shrek. Oh, the Death of Robin Hood? Man, that should have not come out now. There's so many summer movies. I'm like, what are we doing? This is basically a 2000 summer where they're like, the people see movies in the summer, put out a lot of them, and then it like doesn't work. That was stupid. Why did you do that? Anyway, yes, Shrek 5. The trailer for Shrek 5 came out this past week, and everyone had to deal with a dumb Olaf joke, a weird gingerbread man thing, which is par for the course for that franchise. And then we saw the new redesign, a further redesign of Shrek, even though I think most people don't know donkey about Shrek. I had the tweet that did really well, which was neat. Basically about how Shrek reminds me of how, and I've talked about this on here before, how the thing with dinosaurs is people will not accept how dinosaurs how dinosaurs were, like in the first Jurassic Park, didn't have feathers and weren't, as scientific research changed and works more up to date, they do change their images of dinosaurs, but because people cannot accept those in a lot of museums and articles and stuff, they will not show the updated dinos because people get upset about it or will not come to museums if it's not the correct vision of dinosaurs that they show. For example, like in Jurassic Park 3, in the original Jurassic Park movies, they kept updating the dinosaurs based on current research or the most up-to-date research. And so in Jurassic Park 3, they didn't look like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park 1 by design. But then when they made Jurassic World, they were like, well, we can't do that because it's unrecognizable. So they stopped doing that, basically, which is odd. So Shrek, this kind of reminded me of that. And why? What I mean by that, and some people really liked it and some people didn't, is that DreamWorks as an entity, as I've been, watching and reading these movies, has changed how they design movies quite a bit recently and have become more expressive and different. And it's not really design-wise the same studio it was in 2001 and stuff. It's obviously evolved and changed. But I think what's happened is most of those movies didn't do really that great. I mean, some of them that are like, Gabby's Dollhouse and Dogman, but those are sort of like not original DreamWorks stuff. and it feels like most of the public is not paying attention to that, and their design changes and stuff like that. And so, to me, as someone who watches like a Ruby Gilman or Puss in Boots 2 and all that stuff, um, I think it makes sense. I do wonder because it is a recognizability thing, and obviously you're making a sequel and you want that. But I do think it's like a case of like people who weren't showing up for the evolution of how we got to DreamWorks now getting upset about it. I was kind of fine with it. I am like I think people are forgetting how fucking lame Shrek jokes are. And a lot of times it's really the momentum and the overall screenwriting. Oh yeah, well, I forgot about Wild Robot. Wild Robot did do well. It did do well, and you'd think people would remember that. But I think because Shrek is so much bigger than even that, they weren't counting it really. And I know people were saying like, how it moved them. I've heard a couple of people say, "Oh, the movement's like How to Train Your Dragon." I do think it's like a different studio. They've evolved since then, and I think it's reflective of that. But I don't know. I This trailer like kind of didn't get me too excited. I wanted more of a better concept. It feels like we're still in the announcement Shrek 5 is happening, and I know we're so far out. Like I get it, but like I would like for getting another trailer, I would like another thing to get me into it, which as of right now, I'm just seeing it because it's Shrek 5. I don't think I'm like, oh, it's Shrek 5 because of this. I hope it's not about screen time. I'm a little worried about Toy Story 5, although I'm gonna see it. I'm a little worried. A little worried. I'm still gonna see it. Hey Box 64. But yeah, I think Shrek making Frozen jokes, I mean, that's par for the course. I do hope it deals with the live action thing. I'm still hoping for that. But we'll see. We'll see. But it is like I'm also like, didn't we do the redesign thing months ago? Like we're still getting upset about that. I found a little bizarre. I've noticed like a lot of movie news, like everyone forgets, and then we're stuck with it still, and it's like, oh, okay, we're doing this again. Like the Office cancel culture thing this week, I was like, I'm not playing this game again, Rainn Wilson. And you're like, I'm not conservative, but I went on Fox News stuff. Also, we actually finally got a trailer for Hex, which is Disney's film that's coming around Thanksgiving. This, the thing is I want to say, this is where Disney should be doing, and I do think they need to prioritize. What? Who? I'm sorry. Hold on. I don't. Who is that? Who is that? I don't know him. Is he? I don't know his stuff, but I will respect the RIP Box 64. Cheers to you. Sorry, take you. Um, I do think um Disney should be prioritizing originals, and I like that they gave an original, unlike like Hoppers, which I thought was we rewatched, and I was like, man, this is really good. Um, I wish they'd given it a better release date, but maybe it's good they gave it a good release date for it. But Hex is their big Thanksgiving thing, and first off, it actually looks to me like a DreamWorks movie that was reverse engineered to be a Disney movie. It feels like it would be better with DreamWorks and more crazy. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, good. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I looked it up very quickly, but RIP to him. Apologies. Um but yes. I the Hex trailer, like it looked promising. I got sort of Wish vibes, but also Owl House in there. I think all of that kind of messes with it. It's almost like, yes, it is different from Disney, but I don't think it's different for anybody else. And I think that's probably going to hurt it, particularly with a fairly aggressive Christmas season. I am a little worried about it. I do think it could work out, and it seems like it could be fun, but the Owl House comparisons are going to always chase it. and continue, and also that I feel like the Disney design doesn't really entirely work with it, or at least I feel like that. Oh, hey, thank you, Optimus Room. So we'll see, but I was a little pessimistic about this trailer. I didn't completely win me over. I don't know if I see it before Toy Story 5. I'm curious how it'll go over, to be honest with you. But I don't know. I'm a little like, this didn't win me over, and I think between all the other trailers it got kind of forgotten about. Between the other two, that those Shrek 5 and the one I'm going to talk about now, which is Spider-Man Brand New Day. As for a second trailer, I will say I think this is a smart trailer, because the first one was more about Punisher and the villain concept and had certain jokes. This one did not. I don't think it repeated anything, or if it did, it hit it well enough that I didn't notice, or had different angles of stuff, or prominently featured different angles. It was also more about Hulk, which I think was a better move because it made it feel like an interesting thing. Uh, uh, um, I thought it was an interesting way to do it, and a lot of people keep saying he's going to be Man Spider. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but it is curious. Like, part of the twist is that like the villain can't affect him, and like what Sadie Sinks' character is exactly, and all that stuff. I do think it's like, has me excited for it. I was gonna rewatch all the Andrew Garfield's or Tom Holland's Spider-Man's before this, not all the appearances of him, but all his movies. And I think this will be a good one. I'm really curious about it. It's gonna be interesting having it follow up a pretty significant Spider-Man movie. So I think that's another problem with that. It looks to me like it'll be a solid film, but Punisher and Hulk and all this stuff is going to be interesting. It almost feels like maybe too many things, and uh that has me a little worried. But last time they had too many characters and it worked out. So maybe this will work out too. And I do have faith in the director and stuff. But it is like kind of crazy, them being able to do two different kind of trailers. I thought, but it speaks to the movie. But I hope that isn't a bad thing. I hope that's a good thing. But I didn't realize like MJ is going to be as involved. I sort of like the idea that it's off to the she's just off to the side idea. I thought was a little more interesting. But again, I don't know how it's going to do it. But I liked Ruffalo and Tom Holland together and stuff like that. I don't know if they ever interacted before. I still have that question. I think I've asked this before, but I don't remember them interacting in the. They were only in the. I know Hulk wasn't in Civil War, but he was in. What's it? Infinity War and Endgame, and I don't remember them interacting in that. But they're clearly aware of each other, or I guess not anymore. But anywho, yeah. All right, that's kind of the early trailer section. You don't have to say it's trailer section, Syndrome. All right, this is kind of the story that I was interested in. They've had their only interaction cut from Endgame. Okay. This is one I was pretty interested in and almost made the thumbnail, but didn't. Oh, I didn't check Cornbread's thumbnail prediction. I'm not sure if it's there. I'll have to check. But George Miller is looking to develop. I think we knew this. Hold on. William says, if Austin Powers 4 gets made, I want more scenes that go back to the series roots, where they're parroting blow up and people are photographing models in funny ways. I don't know about. I'll talk about Austin Powers 4 in a bit, but I agree. Let's do more 60s. I recognize that. You know what's funny? I think at the time I went, he's probably not doing blow up. But you're right. You know what? Do blow up while someone's listening to something with blow out at the same time. Why not? Let's go all for it. Cheers to you, William. Thank you for your generosity. And I think we're past. I think that's definitely past the thing. Are you going to do it? Okay. And cheers to you, sir. And I'm fairly certain you get the Godzilla. You got the Godzilla roar, and then we'll do the talk more about George Miller. Why do you do that? Like, you like the fart more. I think most people like farting more than yelling, right? Is that like a societal thing? Anyway, yes, so back to it. Thank y'all. George Miller is looking to develop his final Mad Max film. Now, most people, and if I've looked at the writing of this, are saying it's The Wasteland. But I've noticed most of these articles are George Miller is developing a final Mad Max movie and a TV series. And that after this, he's done. This is his final movie. And they want, and after this, they want to sell the Mad Max IP to the highest bidder, is the plan. We don't know if this is The Wasteland. Every article says he's developing thing, and then they go, fans have been demanding The Wasteland. So a lot of people are like, he's doing The Wasteland. I'm like, no, maybe, we don't know. But whatever. No, I'm not gonna rant about you know what? I forgot about the J turn thing. I should have found that. Hold on. I'll find it. I forgot about that. You reminded me, Furiosa J turn. What was that quote? God damn it. I gotta find it. I don't even know. Oh, here we go. Furiosa has a 50. Wait, where is it? This is just from Reddit. I don't know if I have the. It's a J turn. Whatever. Sorry. Oh fuck. I should have remembered that. I feel really bad. Okay. Anyway. Yes. He is going to various studios because he's developed a final Mad Max movie. Supposedly he's worked on this as he usually does with Mad Max films. He has spent a lot of time developing this. Not as much as Fury Road, which I honestly think that's why Fury Road is as good as it is. But he pitched it to Warner Brothers first, where all the other Mad Max films have been distributed. They turned it down. He famously, if you did not know, George Miller got all the rights to the Mad Max sequels in the franchise because he was supposed to direct Contact, and Robert Zemeckis wanted to direct Contact, and to get him off of it, they just gave him the rights to Mad Max, which is, look, I don't hate Contact, but I don't understand that one at all. But supposedly he is going. Amazon, Universal, and Sony are interested in acquiring the rights. The previous thing with Wasteland, which I think is, the previous thing with Wasteland was that he's been demanding for years. Apparently, Tom Hardy would be Max. The Wasteland would be a Max story. It takes place before Fury Road, and supposedly Tom Hardy would come back for it. Supposedly, the Wasteland, Miller has been developing the Wasteland. This is a long in development project. He has been working on the Wasteland since the 1980s. It first became his idea for a TV series, but then that fell through. It evolved into a video game. From there, it was a book for a little bit, and then they made a movie script, and it's been all these different things. I don't know if this is the Wasteland. It sounds like maybe, because he's already been, like he said before, he wanted to make Furiosa. And with Furiosa, if you remember, that movie had a chase scene that required 300 stunt performers and 3 months to shoot, and it was crucial to Furiosa's character development. Anya Taylor-Joy executed a J-turn. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, sorry. I've been wanting to rewatch Flight of the Navigator for a long time, Gary. I haven't done it yet. Anyway, he is pitching another Mad Max movie. Supposedly this is probably his last movie, and then he's sort of just going to sell it off. I don't think anyone should really ever try to direct a Mad Max movie, because the one that had more of a director involved than George Miller was Beyond Thunderdome. And aren't we all Beyond Thunderdome? Sorry, I've used all my Mad Max jokes. No, but like that's like the worst one probably. So I'm not in love with that idea, but we'll see. But if he's like, just gonna retire and no one's gonna do anything, I guess that's fine. But I think if anyone's going to do another Mad Max thing, I would say you'd have to be a really ambitious um, filmmaker. You know, you can't just. You really, really have to be supremely talented. Like, I think you should be a young person with something to prove with that. But no one's sure what maybe the TV show's The Wasteland, the movie's something else. We don't know, but he is trying to do it. It won't be at Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers turned it down, probably because Furiosa bombed, which he did already say it was going to be hard to make The Wasteland. I think most likely it is The Wasteland, but it seems like as I think I've talked about here with reporting, what the are you serious? Thunderdome is Doug Walker's favorite Mad Max movie. Are you what? No, fuck that. What? No. That is look. Opinions can't be wrong, but that is the most wrong opinion I've ever heard. There's no way that is his. That is no. No, I think I just threw up in my mouth. Like I don't care what he thinks, but that is I care that is no. No. How is that better than I I don't understand that. That like broke me a little bit. Like how can that be better than the Road Warrior or Mad Max 2? I what the fuck is wrong with that guy? Mm, I I don't I'm going to move on. Sorry. I do like We Don't Need Another Hero. I was always disappointed that Furiosa and Fury Road did not have a trailer with We Don't Need Another Hero playing. That was wow. I just like Thunderdome? I no. Anyway, we don't know what's going on. Uh it did. Sorry. That's just we don't know what's going on with this. We know he wants to do it. I'm hoping, honestly, if we're going to be between the three, um, I would go Universal Amazon because Amazon will overspend, and I want that for him. Universal will be cool with it, but I think Amazon. Look, they spent $200 million on a Masters Universe movie. They will be dumb enough to spend $200 million on a Mad Max movie. So that's what I think about that. All right. Hold on. Sorry, I need some water. That Jesus, Thunderdome. I know we're all supposed to be beyond Thunderdome, but that was offensive. Anyway, two movies I probably don't want to happen. Lilo and Stitch is going to be directed by Chris Sanders. I'm assuming this is because he's the voice of Stitch and they don't want to piss him off. And he directed The Wild Robot, and everyone seems to be wanting to remake his shit. It kind of makes sense. He is a really good director. I'm hoping he makes better choices with that than the original. We'll see, but he is attached. With the sequel, I'm not sure if he's going to do. What is Stitch the movie first? I don't know the chronology of all the other Stitch spin-off things, but I can't. I'm not sure how involved he was in those, but I'm curious what the concept would be. But he is attached. I think we kind of knew that was gonna happen, but it was confirmed. This is obviously in the thumbnail, so I should talk about it. But this is one of the wildest. I didn't think this would ever happen, but it was announced today that Jim Carrey, Ron Howard, and Brian Grazer are in talks for a Grinch sequel. I didn't see Call of the Wild, so that's probably, I chose to see Doolittle instead. Good choice. Um, but Jim Carrey, Ron Howard, and them want to do a Grinch sequel, supposedly. I don't know first, I think this concept is not worth having a movie about. I don't think either of those movies are better than the Chuck Jones movie at all, or the special, or the book. Like, I think you're stretching, like with Seuss stuff. I'm like, it's basically like they're made to be a book and a TV special, and like I don't understand the movie thing other than the money behind it. So I don't really get it. But I understand people really like that one. I kind of don't. I just wasn't my thing. I was older when it came out. I know people have nostalgia for it. I just don't. I don't like it. But it's. I am surprised that um they announced it specifically because Jim Carrey really didn't like making that movie, and I don't know what amount of money they're offering him to do it, but more power to you, I guess. I just don't see how you make a sequel to The Grinch. What is he like? Maybe if there's a younger person trying to stop Whoville and he's the mayor of Whoville, that would be interesting. But I don't know. I'm really curious. One, how much he's getting paid, and two, how they'll do it. But Cineram's right. They should do motion capture. But I did see a super chat up there. Hold on. Georgian says, thank you for movie crap. Helps when life gets me down. Oh, I'm sorry. First of all, I'm sorry that life got you down. And I'm glad that this helps in some way. And thank you, Georgians. Cheers to you, man. Cheers to you. I do not see a sequel. But if it actually happens, I will review the second TV special. But it's like not like I'm also surprised like you beat Illumination to this. Like, dude, what's going Illumination? What's up? It's almost like you have like too many franchises that you make money off of to do a Grinch sequel. I feel like Illumination next week should be like, no, no, this will not stand. And they just rush a Grinch movie into production and just have some rip-off minions in it and shit. Like, come on. Come on, Illumination. You make these things quick and cheap. I know the scripts don't take that long to write. You can't convince me otherwise. Just like you beat Jim Carrey to this. You can do it. I believe in you. Get Scott. What's Scott Mosier doing? Waiting for Mallrats 2? Come on. Get Scott Mosier in there. If you forgot he directed it. But let's beat Jim Carrey to the punch and Ron Howard. You can do it. Benedict Cumberbatch can pretend to be American again. Let's do it. But I am surprised. I get it. It did very well at the box office. It does very well on re-releases. Financially, it makes total sense. Story wise, I don't get it at all. I'm like, what are you doing with this? I would like to know a concept. I right now, if you're like, should we do it? Um, no. I just to me it's like the Chuck Jones. You had Chuck Jones, Dr. Seuss, and Boris Karloff. You ain't doing better than that. That's never. You're not beating that combo. I'm sorry. Like it's just. I don't buy that. Sorry. Unless you can get that what the girl from Gossip Girl, if she comes back, maybe. Um. You're cool, Major Mekazawa. Thank you for being here. All right, let's talk about the Netflix um IMAX situation with the David Fincher movie getting it instead of Brad Bird's Ray Gun. I I didn't know that that was in consideration, but supposedly for a little bit they wanted to get Ray Gun in IMAX. They chose the I think I'm not sure if it is officially called that, but like the Further Adventures of Cliff Booth or whatever got that slot instead. I do think that is a hard call. Even though I think Brad Bird, from what I've seen of his movie, looks probably like it would look better in IMAX. But you're basically picking between two world class filmmakers, David Fincher and Brad Bird. Um, that's a tough call for any studio. I really believe so. So I don't think it is an easy call to choose between them. But it sounds like possibly well one I think it's an untested thing, so I understand that, but I am surprised because the animation has done so well on Netflix and their biggest thing is um K-pop Demon Hunters, which did very well in theaters, so you'd think they'd want to do that. I also like I don't know what like the fact that they have two major filmmakers fighting over theatrical and Netflix has now like walked back to this theatrical thing publicly, which is bizarre when they definitely definitely were pushing for it before. So I don't, and their buying of Lionsgate, they're corporately they're a very confused company after the Warner Brothers thing. They clearly do not know what they're doing at this point, and this is a continuation of that. I do think like they have a real shot at best animated feature with the Brad Bird movie, and there's enough love for Brad Bird still. But I do think the Lassiter of it all might play into that, and also that the Paramount Warner Brothers thing got in the way of this, and it's really a whole bunch of drama. But it would have been nice to see Ray Gunn just from the what little I've seen of it. It looks visually more impressive. Like if I were to pick just visually, I would pick that one. But I understand from a studio point of view, you're like, well, Ray Gunn is original, but I'm also like, if you don't care about the money, then why not pick the film that needs it? Like, famously, and I'll say, I know I bring this up probably too much, but famously, Beauty and the Beast got its Best Picture nomination because it played at a film festival. Um, so maybe doing that could secure you an Oscar easier than like just hoping a Tarantino sequel directed by David Fincher will bring you in a little bit more money. It might be long term a better move to do Ray Gun based on that history. But I know they did a work in progress cut. Trust me, I've talked about it. I know, but I think if you think about it, it probably would have worked out. And I think right now Ray Gun has a real chance at best animated feature. But the problem is they're competing with a Toy Story movie, which did Toy Story 4 win best animated feature? I feel like it did. Am I wrong about that? I forget. Anyway, correct me if I'm wrong on that. I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, okay, Evil Dead Wrath. I don't know what number that is, but Evil Dead Wrath, which is the one that's not the one that's coming out like in a month, but like the next one. We don't know anything really about it. We know it's called Evil Dead Wrath. It beat Claw's fucking. God damn it! Really, Klaus? I mean, it's good, but it's just like anyway. Evil Dead Wrath. Supposedly, it is a prequel because it takes place in 1972. This is directed by France Gallippi, who did The Last Stop in Yuma County. I never saw that. But let me say this. I'll get to you in a second. I'm not. Hold on. Sorry. I saw Bob Odenkirk. I didn't see anything else yet. Um, Time travel is involved in the Evil Dead films. Army of Darkness, and then he came back. So to me, it's like it could be a prequel, but it could also be a sequel. And I haven't seen the last Evil Dead movie. I know they have said it is a prequel, but I'm also like, it could also be more than a prequel in my mind because time travel is involved in the Evil Dead films. Ash went back in time and came back to work at the department store. So I'm just putting it out there. I think I really do think Evil Dead like the time travel thing should be in consideration. But as of right now, we know it takes place in 1972. That has been announced. We also know they're saying it's a prequel, so there'll be some prequelness. But you could have the Doctor finding the book, and like that could be fun, and it's something we haven't done. I do sort of like the sequels. I like the franchise because it's not doing Ash again. It's doing a different thing, and I actually enjoy that. And I'm excited for the next one more so than the Moana movie that comes out. That's I really am not happy about that. Army of Darkness is not technically an evil. Are we not counting that? I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that. Anyway, seventh Evil Dead franchise overall. Okay, thank you for clearing that up. Will Ullman said in a series, thank you again. Said Jim, the Bob Odenkirk The Room remake trailer that was leaked tonight is giving me hope. The full movie might still leak. It looks great. Bob Odenkirk made a remake of The Room. I'm surprised that would be. I thought The Room. Is the Room thing? Are we still doing the Room thing? Is it still flashing? Yes, I'm gonna keep it flashing because we're. Yes, I'll keep it flashing for a little bit. Cheers to you, Willow. Thank you for your generosity. I hadn't heard about. I am curious about. Is the Room? I said it's known, but it's like I feel like it's um I don't know if it's as memed as it used to be before. I feel like Disaster Artist like peaked it a little bit. But anyway, cheers to you, sir. I do think in modern um bad movie history. Wait, what's my hair doing? I don't even. I don't know what it's doing now. It's like, okay, does that look okay? Okay. Now I'm confused. All right. Uh, I'm like, wait, what is it? Now I like don't know what I look like. Hold on. What did I do? No, it's fine. I don't know why. Oh, I see. It's like this. Okay, no, wait. That no. Uh. Okay. I might. All right. Sorry. I got a little lost there. Well, it's fine. I'm gonna. I'll go with before Partysaurus Rex. Anyway. Um. Oh, legal. Oh, I didn't know about this. This was made like 10 years ago. I think it was not released because of legal issues. So it was made. Was he in the disaster? I do not remember the disaster artist since when I saw it. I remember when I made the when I was going to see it. I think I was messaging someone about my video on Kikassia. I remember those came out around the same time. That's all I remember about it. And I did a review of the room. Anyway, um, you look fine. Thank you, thank you. It just it does. I'm just whatever paranoid. Okay, so Batman 2. There's kind of a lot of things with this. We're okay with it. Yes, we're okay with that. Batman 2. We learned that apparently Sebastian Stan is what we were. It was apparently a sort of smokescreen or a false flag or whatever. Who was playing who? But supposedly Sebastian Stan is not playing Harvey Dent. That is Brian Tyree Henry is playing Harvey Dent. He's playing Victor Zsasz, who's like the serial killer guy, which is different. Apparently, it starts shooting next week. We also learned that Charles Dance and Scarlett Johansson are playing father and daughter. Supposedly, the Court of Owls is involved, and this script takes a lot of crazy turns. Is what we keep hearing. I don't know what those are. There's still rumors that Hush is semi involved. Hush doesn't really work unless you can get like all the different cameos and stuff. If you can't, don't bother with it. But we also learned Colin Farrell will be in it for a bit, and there's not going to be a season 2 of The Penguin, but he'll have a few scenes because supposedly Victor Zsasz loses all his money because of a gambling thing with the Penguin. I'm not sure about this whole thing. I'm okay with them going in a different direction, particularly having different kind of characters. But it is weird to hear that what we thought was going on, like the Charles Dance isn't maybe playing Christopher Dent and all this stuff. I just want a good Batman movie. I don't care who was cast as who. Doesn't matter to me, but it seems interesting. And is Scarlett Johansson playing Andrea Beaumont? Like those questions seem to be coming up more and more. But it sounds like we don't really know who's cast in fucking anything. Oh, good night, man. Good night, KKVB. Um, and the other rumor is that the second show, which as I talked about before, there were rumors that they thought about doing a Catwoman show, but like that didn't work out, and I don't know what happened with Zoe Kravitz and all that. But supposedly they want to do a Poison Ivy show, but I don't think we've heard anything about Poison Ivy in Batman 2, which seems a little odd, and a lot of people have questioned that if it is happening. But that seems what's going on with Batman 2. So if you're curious, Sebastian Stan's playing somebody else, and all that. Cool. I don't know if anyone's that interested, but that's going on. Moving on, Kiki's Delivery Service live action show. So, should you be mad about this? Is this a remake of Ghibli? You can be mad about it. I don't care if you want to be. That's cool. But apparently, it is based on the book series, not necessarily the movie. The Ghibli movie, is just the first movie, the first book. Sorry. This is going to be it's going to be 10 half-hour episodes with the story drawn mostly from the first of the author's 6 volume series. So basically, it's drawing from other books other than the first one. So it would technically be different. I'm more okay with this because this does not sound like a live action remake. It feels like an adaptation of the source material. It's also not just doing Kiki's delivery service. I would say if you are going to watch this, review it, I would judge the show more on what it does uh, with the other books and not the first one, because I don't think you're doing better than Miyazaki, right? That doesn't sound like something you're going to do. Is it freezing? It looks like it is a little bit. It's getting a little choppy. But that's what's going on. It's not worth getting upset about. It's just sort of like, I think the first episodes are not going to be, people are not going to be kind about that. But after that, it should be good. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Oh, it's like, gonna refresh that. I think we're just gonna go to the red for this. So Ari Aster's next movie, or the plot of it, came out, and he seems to be definitely into the Eddington part of his career, because this feels very Eddington. I cannot see the chat, so if anything's going on right now, it like kind of froze on me, which sort of sucks. YouTube is seems like we're still streaming though. Oh, now I have an ad for pants. Cool. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, no, I don't know how many are based on what. Anyway, the new Ari Aster movie supposedly is about Jake Paul, or one of the Paul. I don't know the difference between the two Paul. I know there's Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Somebody saw a dead body in the suicide forest, and one of them boxes. Maybe that's the same person. I don't know. I've never watched any of their stuff. They seem like assholes. Anyway, apparently this is the plot we have learned. We know Scarlett Johansson is cast in this. I think it's called Scapegoat. Said after a popular social media influencer dies during a routine operation, the surgeon Johansson, who performed the procedure, finds her current reputation under siege. As public outrage mounts, he becomes the target of relentless scrutiny by the influencer's why does it say he? That's interesting. Grieving wife and fiercely protective brother, whose pursuit of answer turns increasingly adversarial. So whichever Paul brother is the other one is mad, I guess. I don't know. It sounds actually interesting, but yeah, this does seem like we're getting the Eddington Ari Aster, not the horror movie Ari Aster. I think that one is not. I think that part of his career is sort of over. But more power to him. I do think this would probably go over better. That Eddington definitely has aged in the right way already. But I do think it sounds cool. I think it's a good role for Johansson, who needs to do uh different kind of stuff. She's very good at doing all sorts of roles. I know people will talk about Jennifer Lawrence later, said she should be doing more of this kind of stuff, and it sounds like something she would normally do. But I think I don't know, Scarlett Johansson with Ari Aster seems interesting to me more than that Exorcist movie. That doesn't sound interesting. So Heather Donahue, what was going on with that? Not in the Blair Witch thing. We finally got an answer. Here is her quote that I will read. I was offered an agreement that for me personally raised difficult long-term questions about rights, future technology, use of identity and voice, the ability to speak freely, and compensation. Ultimately, it just wasn't something I felt comfortable signing. I genuinely wish everyone involved well, but preserving my autonomy mattered more to me. That sounds fine. I don't think she goes by Heather Donahue anymore, and I didn't get to look that up. So if anyone in the chat, please correct me. Actually, I believe they changed their name to something. But I think Heather Donahue is still an executive producer. But we'll see what I believe they are getting compensated to some degree, but yeah, if they're trying to do some AI thing, that stinks. I hope they get like the retroactive residuals they were asked for and stuff like that. But I'm a little curious about what we're doing with the Blair Witch franchise. If this is Heather Donahue, to me, is like the glue that keeps like the other guys are good, but I just think you kind of like can't Ray Ray Hance. Thank you. But Ray Hance, I think I think them coming back is a big chunk of it. So to me, I would like try to settle with them. But also, like, do we have like? I really don't think Blair Witch is a franchise. I just don't see it that way. But I do think they should be compensated. But I don't see it as a franchise. But we'll see what's happening. But it is sad that that this is where it lands ultimately. So in I don't know if most people talk about this, and I know I was sort of anti James Gunn makes a tweet, so now we have to talk about it shit. However, he confirms the Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd show is happening. I'm really hoping in this Jimmy Olsen has to stop Gorilla Grodd from killing Barack Obama in college. Is something, just make that episode. That is one of my favorite clips where he just bursts. He goes, Barack Obama, I'm here to kill him. He's a gorilla. And he doesn't move his mouth. That's my favorite part of the clip. Like, so CW. Like, he's just like, why would you send a gorilla? Oh my god. I love it. It's amazing. Anyway, I actually kind of like Gorilla Grodd. He's a fun character. So I like that James Gunn has leaned into the silly weirdness of DC, and I think that's cool. I'm into this, but I don't know much about Gorilla Grodd just from My vs Superman and the Obama clip, which I definitely will watch tomorrow because I think it's funny. I mean, it is funny. How is that not funny? It's just like he comes and he does say "Make America Grodd Again." I forgot about it. They make Harambe jokes. I'm okay with that. Yeah, he says it like Barack Obama. Like there's nothing like Gorilla Grodd. He was the best one to say. Should if I was Obama when he was opening the library, I would have had Gorilla Grodd introduce me. Like, come on. If someone made a movie about Gorilla Grodd trying to kill me, I would be all. That's just Legends. I didn't even know which show it was, but oh, they also. I would like to see the Furious, but like when I had to choose between Disclosure Day and the Furious and the showtimes for Furious. I do want to see the Furious. I think I should make a movie of when I can finally see it on streaming like that and the Boots Riley thing. Those are my two. The Boost I love Boosters and Furious are my two. Like when I can actually see it. I know he's a Flash villain, but he's a gorilla who talks. That's funny. All right, we do have some updates on the Daniels movie. One is we learned Sandra Oh is actually attached. Emma Stone, there's a rumor that Emma Stone is in it and she's a co-star to Matt Damon, which confuses everyone because you're like, why were you insisting on one star when you need two? Maybe she was involved the whole time. It's sort of a rumor. Was she the Sandra Oh part? No one knows anything, but we're probably going to be hearing more about casting with the Daniels movie soon because it does actually literally have to shoot soon. William Elman, thank you for the super chat again. Says Heather Donahue's scream for the Blair Witch Project made a great cameo in Tar during that one scene where Kate Blanchett may have heard that woman getting murdered in the bar. Is that true? I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Interesting. Cheers to you. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you for your generosity and thank you for the super chat, William Elman. That's I do think I Love Boosters will happen, but it's just like every time I've tried to see it, it just didn't work out, and it was like Jesus. It's like I don't know. I feel a little stupid about it, but I heard he was on a podcast on Hassan Piker's stream, and he talked about how passengers The only person who's saying the passenger horror movie is is hurting his movie. Like that movie got like trounced by two other horror movies, and he's the only one to go, oh well, there was Israel money behind it. And I'm like, look, I was like, saw that clip. I'm like, dude, I don't think that hurt you at all, but I don't know. I like didn't really go much into it, but it's like I look. I'm not saying that's not true, but I don't think that was the issue for you. But I think they should have marketed that movie better because I did try more to see it when I saw they have like silly Scooby Doo runs and stuff, and I do think if they had more of that, people would be more into it. That's I don't know. Apparently, there is going to be another Jennifer Lawrence comedy. She's working on a film called One Month Mark about. Uh, wait, really? That's interesting. Why would he? Anyway, that's odd. She's trying to make another comedy. I think she should be making more comedies. I like Jennifer Lawrence a lot. I wish she was in more stuff. I didn't see Die My Love. I should. I feel bad about that. But she's working on another one called 1 Month Mark. It has. I noticed every time it's mentioned is in a discussion that she needs to be in more and better movies. I agree, but I also think like her doing low budget star comedies is a good move for her. I like No Hard Feelings, so I'd be down for her to do more of that. And I think this would be good. I'd like her doing, you know, $40 million rom coms is a good move for her. I don't know. She doesn't, although she's good in like indie stuff. I think she wants to do the movie star thing. I think that's the best way to do it, not to be in like I can't think of it or don't look up. Don't do that. Supposedly there were 25 minutes cut from Supergirl from most of what I've read. It was like weird DC asides and stuff, and everyone felt it was better for it. So whatever. The okay, we have a few like quick. Do we have quick things in that box? Oh, Fox buys Roku. Fuck. Okay, I do need to talk about that. Okay. Austin Powers 4. I'll talk about that and trailers, and then we'll do Fox buys Roku. Also, Clint Eastwood definitely retired. It seems Scott Eastwood confirmed it, which I think is. Well, I'll say this about Clint Eastwood. I think I love the Sergio Leone movies he's in a lot. I don't really like him as a director, and I think his one take thing really it's just like it's watching people who don't get to work enough on the acting. Like even he's had so many great actors in his movies, and you can really tell he does one take. And I really don't like his direction most of the time. Like whereas like in the Line of Fire, like when he works, he is very good with a good director. I like Unforgiven to I haven't seen it in a long time, but I've never felt he's a great director. I haven't seen $1 Million Baby in a long time. I remember really liking it, but I just feel like I agree with what Ray Liotta said. They asked him who was an overrated actor. He said Clint Eastwood. I generally find most of his filmography overrated, but there's a lot of it, and there's a lot of it I haven't seen. So I'll give Clint Eastwood that. But I think it's probably for the best. I saw Juror Number whatever, and I think that works out. But he's still like to me he's the cowboy who replaced John Wayne, and I think a lot of his westerns are good. I like his westerns, but never a big dirty hairy guy. I don't know. Anyway, but I think In the Line of Fire he has some good ones, but I think it's for the best. For the best. Man, American Sniper, Jesus. Anyway, supposedly Mike Myers said we are definitely going to get a Austin Powers 4. I sort of think time has moved on, but it would be funny if they do a dark, gritty Austin Powers thing to counter um, the James Bond people trying to counter Austin Powers making James Bond look silly. Why don't you make the dark, gritty version of Bond silly? That's the only way you can do it, and that will take down Denis Villeneuve before he does that. In fact, absolutely do that, because doing another dark, gritty Bond after dark, gritty Bond is so fucking dull. I want Austin Powers. I hate the term disruptor, but disrupt that shit, please. In the only other trailer that wasn't a big one was this film called Hotspot. It looks very stylized in a fun way. It looks very much like a stylized Empty movie, but I will give it like I thought it was a cool trailer, so check that out. So, I know this is going to be a very industry thing. And I know this is the part where people get kind of bored, which is fun. Oh fuck, we got obituaries too. Damn it! I should have like parsed this out maybe. Played Knock Force for me. Cheers to you. I only know that because the Mystery Science Theater requesting. All right, I'll try to make this quick because I have a anyway bunch of stuff to talk about. Fox is going to buy Roku. What does this mean basically, and what's going to happen? Um, in a $22 billion deal, Fox, this would be Fox who has the channel but doesn't own The Simpsons anymore because they sold everything because they thought they couldn't compete in streaming, then bought Tubi because they're like, I don't know, and then went, oh shit, it's doing really well. This is more actually Lachlan Murdoch and not Rupert Murdoch, apparently, but he came up with the idea to buy Roku after Tubi. Tubi has really done extremely well. In fact, more so than any other free streaming service. There are a lot of free streaming services actually, but it seems to me most people just know about Tubi and Pluto. Pluto has kind of cratered a lot more than people expected, although Pluto I find to be very good. However, basically, what we learned from this is most of the other studios didn't want to hurt their own interests and deal with like how the Roku City makes a lot in ad money, particularly with studios. But Fox, who doesn't really have a studio anymore and mainly has like reality shows and sports and just plays The Simpsons, I guess, and not too much. Oh, Fox. Yeah, that makes sense. But supposedly they are not going to merge Roku City, a Roku TV, which is a growing free streamer, and Tubi. I think that's probably I I I think that's probably not going to happen. I think eventually they will have to pick. Um, it's sort of it's a good move in terms of if let's say what Fox has market share. I don't love talking about market share in terms of streaming, but this is actually kind of interesting. If what Fox's market share and Roku's market share, which is their free things and their pay service Howdy, which I don't understand why they do that, but whatever. If you just combine those two numbers, it would make them the third biggest company in streaming. I'm assuming because Roku is so huge and so forth that um, some of those numbers viewers are the same people. Uh, uh, so I don't know if it would make them third or fourth, but it would make them a much bigger player in streaming, which is funny because they sold all their shit because they're like, well, we can't deal with this. But it seems like they've done it in their own kind of odd, interesting way. Supposedly they do want to keep running things like Tubi the way it is, so Tubi's safe in a sense. I'm sure Tommy Tubi is not worried. But I am curious where this deal is going to go. But Roku, also the what people are concerned about is as smart TVs become more prevalent, they all have their own Pluto Tubi knockoff services built into them, much like I think Samsung, and they have a Letterman channel and so forth that I've heard really good things about. I think that is probably hurting Roku, but the one thing that helps Roku, which they didn't talk about and which I do know is true, most of the people I know of Roku's have, like I have an older TV. A lot of people have older TVs, and you can just set up a Roku to it, and it's a lot easier. And Roku is cheaper than buying a new television. So I do think that is a major factor in this, and I'm sure they know that. Will it change much? We don't know, but it shows how powerful Roku is, and it shows Fox is being more into the free streaming thing, which I support. Anyway, sorry. Well, I wanted to talk about this a little bit, but I do think what Fox is doing now is interesting. I do worry about their conservative stuff, but it feels like also that they're starting to realize that Fox News, who has an aging demo, is not going to help them in 20, 30 years, whereas Roku and Tubi seems to be rearing more younger, and that seems to be more of where they're investing money in. So I would assume, I do not know Lachlan's political affiliations, but it does seem like they're moving away from the conservative stuff. But we will see about that. That's all speculative. But it's going to be interesting because Fox is going to have to play nice with a lot of different streamers and a lot of different companies who use Roku City and all that so they can continue that revenue growing it'll be interesting to see how they can do that. They were able to do that with the studio and Fox News, but I think it'll be interesting times there. I'll save the obits towards the end, and let's just talk about the box office. Maybe we'll go a little over. I kind of didn't want to, but the weekend box office was interesting in a few ways. I know we're kind of obviously we're always waiting on this, but let's just go through it. This is the box office section. Disclosure Day opened past expectations at 44 million. Everyone thought it was going to open about 35. It did better. Did it do great? Not really, but it did better than they thought, which wasn't great. It did a little better. And it's actually made about 52 million to 58 million. Oh, that's actually pretty good. And 120 worldwide. It feels like it'll make back its investment, but not too great. It is, it opened less than Hoppers, but it actually had a better opening weekend than Ready Player One, which surprised me when I found that out. And it's supposedly the biggest summer opening for Spielberg in like whatever. It's very confusing. It's like you have to get into adjust it for inflation, whatever. But it is, I mean, the fact that it opened bigger than Ready Player One, I think is interesting. Although it is his first summer movie, I thought since like, I don't know, maybe Indiana Jones. No, BFG. BFG was last summer movie. Like, okay. It did make $92 million worldwide. I expect this thing to sink like a fucking stone when Toy Story 5 comes out, and Supergirl and Minions and this and that. Probably shouldn't have opened it at this time, but it did do better, and it's very much selling on the Spielberg name because no offense to Emily Blunt or Josh O'Connor or whomever, but they don't open movies like this. So I do think the Spielberg, everyone said, oh, does Spielberg track as well as he used to? But it did better than they thought. It's doing okay. It did better than the huge IP movie that was based on a book that was really popular in its original idea. So I'll give it, it deserves some credit for that. I know people are saying, oh, it's his biggest original opening. And it's like, I don't know, man. There's like so many variables. He's been a director for a long time. I don't think it really is like, is it doing better than E.T.? Fuck no. Like, but adjusted for inflation and like how the box office has changed and all those things, it's not doing better than ET. Let's be real. It's not doing better than ET. Stop saying that. Whatever. But oh, thank you, Alex Shirov. But anyway, it's doing better than expected, but not super better than expected. But I actually think if you compare it to Ready Player One, you go, oh, that's actually pretty good. So there we go. Obsession is still doing great. It's at number 2. It only went down 25%. I think this is the first time it's gone down, but it keeps adding theaters, which makes this whole thing confusing because you're like, well, how much of that percentage is with the theaters thing? It's weird. It still has a pretty high per screen average. It's made about $188 million. It could actually end up outgrossing World War Z. It's outgrossed The Quiet Place. And it is actually the highest grossing film not acquired from a film festival that is not Sundance, but it's also the highest grossing film acquired from a festival. It might end up being the biggest movie that didn't hit number 1 at the box office, and it could actually outgross, this isn't a joke, Devil Wears Prada 2. For real, in America at least. And where are we at? 297 worldwide. Hold on, where is, I think Devil Wears Prada worldwide? No, but let me look that up. No, it's not going to outgross. It's worldwide is 676, so it won't. But in America, it's 218, and right now, Obsession is at 188. It could. I think it's going to be harder because a lot of people have said Toy Story 5 is going to abandon everything to have more Toy Story 5 screenings. Scary Movie is dropping like a stone, which should be expected. Although it still added 14 theaters. Backrooms is also dropping, which it opened really big, so I think the thing that worked for Obsession is its word of mouth is going, but it didn't open huge. And Master Universe went down 69.7%, which is expected. It is sinking the fuck out because it should have come out 10 years ago. Did I say I'm not obsessed? Sorry. I don't know why I keep doing it. I should just review the Beyonce movie. I am going to review Disclosure Day. That'll probably be the next big review. I'm hoping Monday. I was trying to get it on Wednesday, and I was like, I don't know. This is kind of a failure of organization for Wednesday this week, to be honest with you. Michael is still doing okay. It's still, where is it? Number 7. It's still made $4 million. It's worldwide. Where it opened in Japan, it's at 937 million worldwide. It did make about 20 in Japan. It is the biggest music biopic of all time worldwide. It is possible to get a billion, but we'll see. Furious. Nobody. Why is Surrey here? Go away.
Here's an answer from fictionhorizon.com.
Nobody wants that. I didn't click that. Go away. Fucking Surrey. All right. Or whatever that is. Furious is holding well. So good for that. It opened at number 9, which is beyond expectations as well. I answered the Disclosure Day thing. I am. It's shot. Don't worry. And then Digital Circus did have a drop that makes sense because of all that stuff. It is actually, I learned, the highest grossing it's the highest grossing movie originally distributed by Fathom Events. But do you know what the highest grossing Fathom Event movie is? Is actually Coraline. Coraline is the highest. It's like $30 million. It is the highest grossing thing Fathom Events have ever done. Is Coraline. Digital Circus is second. That's interesting. Toy Story 5 will most likely, everyone is expecting to be the highest grossing opening weekend of the year. I would say outside of Doomsday and Dune 3, but I still think they're probably right. I expect something around like 150. I could see even 180. We'll see. I think it's going to perform the fuck out of everything. It's a Toy Story movie. Those always do extremely well. Stop That Train made about $2 million. It's doing all right, and I know it's really trying to be a cult movie. I think the problem is it opened against another film that is organically becoming a cult movie, which is The Furious, and the Digital Circus is in there. And also the AI stuff. I don't think Stop That Train is doing all that great. All right. I saved the RAP, the obituaries. This will take a minute because we lost some big people this past week. First off was film critic Gene Shalit. He's known for his puns and having the only film critic segment, as I'm aware of, from the Today Show. I know he was punny and silly. He did appear on the television show The Critic as well. He always had this kind of joyous, fun atmosphere to him. I know he was never taken that seriously, despite his prominent role on the Today Show. I always kind of liked his puns and all that stuff. I know there's like Twitters making fun of how he would review movies now and stuff. He would sometimes come back, but he lived to be 100. I think he, in terms of television critics and punniness, he does deserve a certain amount of credit in the history of criticism. He might have not been the supreme critic that like an Ebert and Siskel were, as well as being TV personalities. He's a little more of a TV personality than a great critic. But a part of criticism is having good puns and jokes, and he had that in spades. And I did retweet that thing where Ralph Bakshi was explaining to him how he made, was it American Pop, I believe. But he wasn't really my favorite critic or anything, but I still think he was a amazing critic and kind of showed you how to have fun with it. I do actually think a lot of those critics, especially those older TV critics who came on and were a big personality and be silly, that is a harder job than people give it credit for. And oftentimes they could swerve in different ways than you'd expect. You had to have a true personality to do that. Like Scott Mantz, I think, would be one of those guys now. He's probably the closest to Gene Shalit. And if you ever hear him on discussion shows, I used to roll my eyes at that guy. And I learned that like critics like that are a little more interesting than you give them credit for. So I will say Gene Shalit is probably more interesting than we are giving credit for. And RIP to him, he was, you know what? He set the mold for those kind of critics and he deserves his respect. I'm not sure if I'm going to say this name right now. I apologize. The voice of Lilo and Stitch, and she was also in the room. Daveigh Chase. It was announced she died, I think, today. It's really sad that, from what my limited understanding, financially, she was not doing great. It was because of meningitis. I, that's a real tragedy, and it stinks that, like, I don't know how her life got to that point, but she should have been supported more. And it stinks that Lilo and Stitch last summer made $1 billion, and yet the girl who gave us the memories and like Stitch merchandise, I see Stitch merch more than Mickey Mouse stuff. Like, that is a pretty huge character, and she is a big part of why that was successful. Just Disney needs to treat their people better. That's just like not. I don't know the ins and outs of that, and I find it to be a real tragedy. Like, rewatching that movie, I was like, man, Lilo and Stitch is really good. She does a great job. A very natural kid performance, and she deserves a lot of credit for that. And meningitis is not something to joke about. They thought I had it once when I was in high school. I didn't. Maybe I did. But that is, people take that very seriously. Because I had to be in the doctor's office. They did all this. It's intense if you ever get that, and I think she did it with very little health support, which is unfortunate. R.I.P. to Oliver Tree. I don't know him too well. Some of these people I avoid just because I don't want to half-hearted. I feel it's less respectful to say. But anyway, R.I.P. to Oliver Tree as well. I didn't. I don't. I semi know him, but and finally, Ann Schedeen, who is the mom on Alf, passed away this past week as well. I think there's only one surviving, like two surviving Alf cast members. It's like the sister and the guy who created Alf, whatever his name is, which is Jesus. Like, some of these are not shows that are old enough for this to have happened to, and that was. I was just watching a video how hard it was to shoot that show, and it's just like, and nobody who worked on it says anything nice about it, which I every time they're like, how come we can't do a new Alf? I'm like, probably because that sounds like a fucking nightmare to deal with. Like, especially like nowadays, they are not going to let you do that kind of takes for a show. Like, that sounds like an expensive. I'm sure anybody they asked about was like, don't make Alf. And they're like, it makes total sense to me. I don't know. Anyway, but RIP to all of them. Sad week to lose all those people. All right. We're going to take a break, and then we'll talk about the Toy Story Toon we're going to talk about the Toy Story Toons Partysaurus Rex after this. We're going to take a break for a minute. You can listen to some tunes, and then I will talk about the last of the Toy Story tunes, Partysaurus Rex. I'll be right back. I'll play some music here. Where are we? Wait, where's the thing? I'm just going to play it from the beginning. I'll be right back after this. Okay. We are back. What's the music? Okay, sorry, I shouldn't have done that because now it's... Alright, let me mute the music because I'll forget. And... Or let me unmute the music because I don't know. Hold on. Hold on. Hey, what's up? Alright. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Oh, and good night, Dan. Have a good night. I'm sorry. I mean, sometimes the sync gets off. I do often have to resync it when I make the videos. That's just how it works. So I apologize if it is out of sync. Just like pretend it is. I wanted to mention this before we continue, and I forgot. Sinram made a really, I mentioned it last stream, made a video about like his best cinema visits, and it was generally a really good video, and at the end I literally said, what the fuck? Like that. Anyway, I won't give anything away, but he did a very good job, and it made me think about making a video of my own of like favorite cinema visits. I don't know when I would ever do that, but if I do, I'm ripping him off. I will admit that. Also, like, you know, I know Sinram's in the chat and helps us, the timestamps, does a wonderful job with that. But I know Sinram because I was a fan of his videos. I've been watching him long enough. I do not remember when I started. I don't remember when I know we met before I did Pizza Party. But the one thing I'll say about this is, and yeah, Cornbread second side, is that I remember when his Star Trek Into Darkness review came out. I don't know if it's still there, but I remember when it came out. I remember watching it. So at least then, I feel like it was before 2013. But he makes good videos, and I was like, it caught me off guard as it went on. I was like, oh, I'm seeing the like genius of it. It was a good presentation. I will say I liked it. I almost left a good comment, but I didn't think I need to do that maybe because I did enjoy the video. I did give it a thumbs up and I did watch it. But yeah, I do think more people should. That's a good concept. Best cinema visits, and you know the context behind them. I think smart video. Anyway, sorry, I wanted to mention that. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I think there'll be a short tomorrow. We'll see. Tomorrow's gonna be a little crazy, so we'll see. But I'm still determined. And maybe small fry. I'm not sure if I'll put something out on Sunday. It's sort of like Father's Day, so I feel like I just want to not do anything, but I also would like to get that video out. So we'll see. There might end up being like a 2-video day later that week or something. But yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you for reminding me about the music, because. All right, so regardless of where we are in Super Chats during Partysaurus, I'm hoping it doesn't freeze up too much. We're going to do the flashy lights thing. But we're sort of close to another Godzilla thing. So I will do Godzilla counts, but as of Partysaurus Rex, we're just going to... Because I think it's Partysaurus Rex, guys. It's got to go flashy. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I feel like... Oh... You know, last week everyone was like, "Oh, Buffy," until the hyena episode. And you know what? When I watched the next day, just happened to come up the hyena episode. That is very bad. I couldn't finish it. It's legitimately horrible. I was like, "Wow, that was fucking bad. That was very bad." I don't know. Although I've been more into presently is finding old MTV footage and just having that on is like very. Especially ones I saw when it aired. I'm like, it's like very calming. I don't know. And a lot of metal. Anyway, the music section in Discord is going to get interesting. Going to be posting stuff. Also, probably from the new My album, which I enjoy quite a bit. Anyway, all right, here we go. Are we doing it? Are you doing it? There's Nolan. Are we doing it? Can you see Pam back there? I've been trying to put Pam because I wasn't before, and I was like, man, I don't really have a problem with him. Anyway, all right, his figure is broken, so there's that element, which is just happened, not a. I didn't break it in frustration or something, for the record. Anyway, but yeah, check out Sinram's video. Maybe I should just post it in general. Deserves a shout out. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about the final one of the Toy Story tunes. This is Partysaurus Rex. This came out in 2012 with the re-release of Finding Nemo in 3D. To my understanding, this is in 3D and possibly in 3D on the 3D Blu-ray. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But it is probably the least seen theatrically because it came out with a re-release of Finding Nemo in 3D. This was directed by Mark Walsh, who has only really done shorts for Pixar. He's probably the least notable of these directors. However, I think this is the best of the Toy Story tunes. This is definitely my favorite of the Toy Story tunes. I think it's the most fun one. And it's actually the most direct in terms of its script. I think the others try to do all, have these weird setups and things like that. But the whole idea, everything's explained, everything makes sense, all the character motivations, everything's set up correctly. It's I was like, this is my kids have watched this a lot of times. But I was like, this is a very economical screenplay. So basically it is Rex, who's voiced by the amazing Wallace Shawn. Yes, from My Dinner with Andre. Rex comes into the room while the Toy Story gang is blowing up a bubble, and he literally bursts the bubble. It's very direct, as I said. This is very much a little kid one. But he bursts a bubble, and then Mr. Potato Head calls him a party pooper. And then, Bonnie comes in, and she says, "Can I take a toy in the bath?" And they all scatter, except Rex. And so she takes Rex into the bathtub. But they don't know he's a party pooper. And since he can turn on the tub and keep the party going in the tub, keep going with his tiny little dinosaur arms, he then does that, and he starts a huge party, and he becomes... They're like, "Do your friends call you anything?" And he makes up the name Partysaurus Rex. And in a collision course to wackiness ensues. The shower thing, sorry, I read my notes. I like how silly this one is. It is pretty crazy. But it's also with the nonsense in it, but it's also maybe the funniest in terms of using the Toy Story universe, which I think Small Fry also does. But I like what this is like. It's all in Bonnie's house, which feels very much in the Toy Story universe. And in a section we haven't seen before, which is the bathtub and the bath toys. We haven't seen that before. It also, has a character we don't see go on a solo adventure, sort of making this one a little more interesting. As well as the idea of what do the bath toys don't get played with that much? What if we got, what if we turn the bath toys into a rave? A lot of kids' bath toys light up nowadays, especially for bubble baths. So it sort of makes sense to make that into a rave. Apparently BT, who's a bigger dance music artist back then, did the music for it, and he does a good job with it, with the robot who does lights and stuff, who dances. I thought that was actually cute. I do think party animal Wallace Shawn in this is really, he's a very good voice actor. He's a very distinctive voice. I've seen him he does a lot of kid shows, but he does a good job of doing the Rex thing, but also being a lot of fun. I like how the party pooper thing, the voice changes a lot. But also all of the simple changes with the script. It's Bonnie's mom says "Oh, we don't want it to overflow," and they have an overflow drain, which a lot of tubs don't have. But I like the extra plot thing because it helps when the tub is overflowing, how crazy this is getting. And just all the bath toy universe there. It's a whole nother aspect. This is one of the few Toy Story things that barely uses Buzz and Woody. They're only sort of at the beginning and the end, and that's it. The rest is Rex and all these characters. It also just has a fun energy to it. I like, the sea captain. I like the rubber ducky, who has two different voices listed, which is bizarre. I don't understand that one. but I like this one. It's probably the most fun of the three. I also like anytime I watch this, my kids will watch this, and there's another adult watching it with us. Anytime there's a part where he pulls the thing on the faucet that brings the shower on, and it stops, and all the toys go, oh. Every time a grown up goes, wait, doesn't that do the shower? And then the shower thing happens, but like it's happened several times. I think it's kind of funny. Like every time I get the comment from someone goes, wait a minute, doesn't that? And like obviously kids don't know that, but it's I think that's funny. I've heard it multiple times. This actually, I know several of them have like storybooks and stuff, but this actually had merch. There's a Partysaurus boat for this that you can play with in the bath that look kind of fun. Which is the best merch I've seen of any of these. I would recommend if you're gonna watch any of them, this is the most fun. It's very easy to go down. It's very quick, and then you're sort of done with it, and you had a fun Partysaurus adventure, and you can move on. I think it is like feels the least essential, but flows the best, and is just like such an easy, fun watch. I'm a little sad that this didn't get to play in front of Cars 2 or the Muppets. Or something like that. I think Small Fry still could have, but like I wish this and Hawaii Vacation had switched because this is like a lot better than that. And honestly, probably my favorite one. I know it doesn't have Condor Man in it, but it's still a really fun short, and I really do like what this director did with it, and kind of like how well everything is set up and paced and everything, and the whole Partysaurus thing. I've heard a few people mention like when he spins around the camera moves, that's a shit, what's that movie? Spring Breakers reference, but Spring Breakers came out a year later. I do not need to look that up. But this is a really fun movie. This is a really fun short. I wanted to party with Partysaurus and Wallace Shawn, and I think it excellently does all that and shows you a different side of the Toy Story universe, which is honestly what they should have been using these shorts for in the first place. Also, I will add this just at the end. There's some reporting of a fourth Toy Story Toon called, we know it was going to be called Mythic Rock. There are various theories. No one seems to actually know. Part of this is because there are other animated shorts playing before the major Disney things like the Muppets. And I know Paperman was playing before. Was it like Paperman was playing before one, and then the Mickey Mouse short was playing before another, and they really didn't have a slot for it. And then Pixar Canada, which was doing the Toy Story Toon, shut down, so it just didn't happen. But the idea was to continue to do these, and the next one would have been this thing called Mythic Rock. What that is or what that could have been, we will never know. But this is at least it for the Toy Story Toons as of now. And they are all obviously on Disney Plus and various other platforms. They're kind of a fun little side thing in the Toy Story universe. Okay. All right. Let's do questions. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. Is there like a Supergirl short? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. Okay. Questions below. Maybe the director, Craig Gillespie. Maybe that I might do. I'll do Austin. There's no short. Jesus, why is there no? I hate that they do that now. All right. If anyone, I hope no one did a question. If anyone did a question right before the show, please let me know. But here's the two questions I'm aware of on Patreon, and then I will do Austin's. Let's do Nathaniel Foga first, because it's the only one that is what anime sequel you're surprised took as long as for it to come out? Incredibles 2. Why did that take so long? I think Incredibles 2. I'm trying to think of any others. Just going to say Incredibles 2. All right, this is an epic question from Sinram. I hope he's still here. Is he still awake? Hi, Jim. You might have caught Patrick Williams' latest video essay. I have not, but it's in my watch later. I will get to it. I watch most of his stuff, in which he talks about wannabe blockbusters made by streaming services. Oh, okay. I thought they were just okay. I didn't know that, but okay. He cited 20 movies which he watched over the course of a single weekend. Damn, he just sat in his apartment, I guess. He said Argyle, Atlas, Back in Action, Bright, Damsel, The Electric State, F1. F1 I wouldn't count as that because that came out in theaters. Whatever. The Family Plan, Fountain of Youth, Ghost. William, I'll get to you after this. I'm sorry. Thank you for your generosity though. Fountain of Youth, Ghosted, The Gray Man, Heart of Stone, Lift, Rebel Moon Part 1, Rebel Moon Part 2, Red Notice, Red One, Slumberland, The Tomorrow War, and The Wrecking Crew. I'm pleased to report that I have taken the time to watch only one of the aforementioned movies. Can you guess which one? Okay, Sinram, by the way, if you are not here, I want you to comment on this video which one it is. I am going to say, based on what I know about how you watch movies and stuff, I kind of think it's The Gray Man. I kind of do. But I'm going to say second choice is Argyle. If I'm going to say of all of these, I think... God, which one would even be the best one in here? I haven't seen F1. I feel like most people say, which is the right... God, they're all so bad. I don't even know. But yeah, I'm going to say The Gray Man, then Argyle. Back in Action was fine. It's Argyle? Wow. How did you like it? That's what I don't know. Okay, Austin, we'll get to your question after this. Okay, William Owen says, how would you rank these Dogma 95 movies? The Celebration and First of the Idiots, Julian Donkey Boy, and A Time for... Okay, some of these I've seen, it's been a while. The only one I have strong memories of... First of all, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for your super chat. And I'll do a Godzilla right after this. I'm going to say Julian Donkey Boy first because I remember that more. Maybe this other, it's been a while. I think I know I've seen the Idiots in Celebration. I'm going to put Italian for Beginners at bottom because I feel like I saw it, but it was like early 2000s. So that is like just the bottom because I don't remember it at all. I'm going to say Julian Donkey Boy, Celebration, Idiots. And then Italian for Beginners. Yes. But Julian Donkey Boy, I like remember. Also, when I did Gummo, I didn't rewatch it, but I was thinking about it. So I'm a little, it's more based on, I don't remember shit. But I believe that gives us Mr. Godzilla. This is Running Sophie did. It's pretty cool. Based on like some tutorial or something. Anyway, here we do Godzilla. Slow fart there. Godzilla bringing it with the gas. Oh yeah, I showed my kids that comic that's coming up. Godzilla meets Wizard of Oz, and they were into it. But it doesn't come out till I hate when they hype up comics. It's like whatever. All right, hold on. We need to do Austin's question. Hey Jim, sorry if sorry. So, hey Jim, sorry I forgot about movie crap. Side note, I did find Zero Up Ghost. What? My question. So I recently watched JFK. I'm going to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan. It's long and the monologue's gone forever. It feels like Presence Conspiracy. It feels like Parents Conspiracy Theory is friction. What saves me is the actors they got to do ridiculous accents and ridiculous wigs. Tommy Lee Jones, John Candy, Joe Pesci. My question, what's your favorite ridiculous wig in a serious movie? That is a good question. Ridiculous wig in a serious movie. I almost want to say Jared Leto in that Gucci. Was it Gucci movie? Ridiculous wig. I want to cheat and say probably Tom Hanks in Cloud Atlas, but I feel like that is cheating. I'm gonna stick. What's his name? Shit. Guy in Stanley Tucci in Lovely Bones, who I think that was a good performance. It's just like not in a good movie. He did a good job. I'll give Mr. Tucci that. Okay. Other questions. Can you give an extra thank you to Austin? He was the one who messaged me about the stream since I didn't get a notification. Heard a bit of worry about my asses. I was worried. You're usually always here, so I was a little worried. Long but shout out to Austin. Thank you, man, for doing that. I would have been later if not for him. Oh, thank you, Austin, for saving cornbread. Not plausible. Long time no see. Congrats to Alex Lyon, Jim, and all fictional New Yorkers on the Knicks win. The Mets, the Jets will now have to shoulder the mantle of eternal bad New York teams. I think the Mets have that, from my limited understanding. Oh, you've never seen me in real life, so you assuming fish. That's fine. The Jubilant, what are your superpowers? Competency. Wait, no. What are you doing? Okay. Competency, and I don't even do that well. Who is your favorite cartoon dad? I mean, it's probably Homer next to the dad on Bluey. Who's one who's not those two? That's like kind of the... Oh, Speed Racer's dad. What's his face? I'm going to say him, because he's always working on stuff. I would say Speed Racer's dead. Or Racer X is dead. Sorry, spoilers. Sorry, guys. Like if you're Sophie, who like 2 seats in, she's like, is that his brother? The slap jockey, why even make new Mad Max when Paul Blart Apocalypse Cop could exist? I agree with this. I think you said it in something. I agree with this take. It should have happened. It should fucking happen. I should have this flash because we are. Well, we got a Godzilla thing. Let's roll it out. What is the dumbest studio in filmmaking? Probably Amazon. Do you have a favorite show that has that one bad episode you can't get over? If so, which show and what episode? Oh, good question. One bad episode. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say the show, and you're gonna think it's one, but it's actually a different one. I used to really like How I Met Your Mother a lot, and I like how it messes with time and all that stuff. And in the last season, they did these things called the slap competitions. They were fun, but they did one that was just them in yellow face a lot, and they kept saying, because people got mad, oh, we were referencing all these kung fu movies and I love them. And I saw that episode. No, you didn't. You just referenced Kill Bill a lot. That is not the same. I hate that episode. I actually don't really like that last season that much, but like that episode really sucks. I'm not that upset at the last one that everyone gets so obsessed over, but like that one always bugged me, and it's like really, I can't get over that. Ratboy Mickey, do I invest in stock or go to Australian Gamble? Australian Gamble. Embla T, how much are these streaming movies actually streaming movies, even though some of them had wide theatrical releases like Apple movies? Yeah, I'm surprised you put F1 in that category. I kind of would, but I watched, now I'm a little curious. I didn't realize they were streaming movies. I was confused. Rapper Mickey, was Affleck the bomb in Phantoms? Fuck yeah, he was. Can you say, okay, you want me to say my bagel is Jewish, my mayor is Muslim, the Pope is on our side, Nixon 5. Did I join the stream too late? No. It's always cool. It's always cool. Man, Argyle. I never saw it, but I have those cars. You like, okay. I didn't know they used a Snow Patrol song. Tacos or burgers? Tacos. Would it have been weirder if the gingerbread man didn't throw ass in the newest Shrek film? I think they betrayed the reputation if they didn't. Yeah, you're right. I kind of agree with that, Cornbread. Gary, are you excited to see My Adventures with Superman Season 3 goes? It's interesting to do Death and Return. I am curious about that, especially with the first episode, like what's going on. They do kind of like let things build on that show, particularly Season 2. I am working on a Season 2 review. Sophie and I are slowly watching Season 2, for the record. Cinram. I read that. Sorry. Rabbi Mickey, when will we get the Jim Gisriel movie and who will play you? Eric Stoltz and never. Is Commando the best movie ever? No. No. Maybe what's the one with Stallone that he made instead of Cobra? I would say Cobra over Commando, but it's been a while for Commando. If no one's gonna see the Death of Robin Hood, then I will see what other movies people won't likely going to see that you'd like to see. I mean, it's between Furious and Isle of Boosters. I think if Death of Robin Hood came out, I think that's a fall movie to me. Anyway, Rabbi Mickey, would you smell Adam Sandler's burps or shake hands with Jerry Seinfeld? Shake hands with Jerry Seinfeld. I did. I was really into the Godzilla Goes to Hell comics. Have you seen the Spiral Staircase 1947? I did, and it's an underrated flick. I feel like I have, but it's been a while. What is the best Ben 10 alien? I did not really watch the show, so no comment. Woody Harrelson in Venom is right. Have you seen The Death of Night 1945? I don't think I have. When will Salty DK Dan review Alpha? I don't know. He should. Pops Racer. That's it. When will the Odyssey's grifter backlash ever tone down when people actually saw it and those characters aren't crying about, aren't even important? I think it's going to be hard for them. I really hope a lot of those people lose steam because they're just like so obnoxious. And one thing I did learn when I made that Brie Larson was almost, which I don't know if I'll do another one of those, almost cast in. It did so well. It was like absorbently like did really well, and only a few hate comments. I was like, I think people do like her. I just think they're weird about her. I think those people are wrong about so many things. And then like Midnight's Edge is doing 10 years of. I heard Ghostbusters. We're still Jesus, just fucking losers. William Ellman, how would you rank these Mario Bava films? Blood and Black Lace, Diabolic, Bay of Blood, Black Sunday, Blood and Blood. Oh, Blood and Black Lace is twice. Okay, I think Blood and Black Lace would be. I'd go Blood and Black Lace. I like that movie a lot. I think I reviewed that. Black Sunday, Diabolic. I I know people like that, but I saw it as a Mystery Science Theater movie and a Beastie Boys video, and I haven't seen Bay of Blood. So Bay of Blood would be last. So I'll give it. Diabolic just gets me over because I've seen it. I didn't realize he directed that. And I didn't realize Mr. Science Theater did Obama. That's weird. Cornbread. Isn't Cobra over Commando that guy who fucking hates the G.I. Joes? Yes, it is. Should there be another Pixar lunch? What? I don't even understand what that means. Yes, I guess. Pixar should utilize their studio more, but not having a short, like, if it was up to me, every studio, we would have cartoons in front of every movies. Less commercials, more random ass cartoon, I think. Question: is Capstone the Obsession Studio be the next big indie studio? Their next movie is a Lovecraftian and plane movie from the director of Final Destination 5. I'm down with that. Rat Boy Mickey, can you fight my dad? What's your dad look like? I'd like to know that before I answer that question. But yes, and I would win. Bay of Blood is Friday the 13th. I'm not a big Friday the 13th fan. Or Friday the 13th Part 2 fan. I like, well, 2's good. 2 and 3 are, I'm like not as into as most people. 3 especially. But 4 is, 4, it's like 1 and 4 for me. And then it gets, and 6. And I like I'm okay with the girl with the mental powers. That's kind of cool. My dad is 5'4" and fit. Okay, yeah, I could take him. Anyway, your daddy's on notice. Unless he has anger issues, in which case I respect your father and everything he stands for. All right. I think it was a good show. Do you think Warner Brothers should sell Cartoon Network for a time? Yeah, I think they probably will and probably should. All right. We're towards the end of the stream. I want to thank everyone. Although it does introduce the mask, so it's like kind of have to do it. All right. I want to thank everyone who gave a super chat during the show. Javier Bartello, William Ellman, Sin Ram, The Slop Jockey, Nattenbox64, William Ellman, George Tunes, William Ellman. Thank you all very much, particularly William Ellman. Thank you for your support. Cheers to all y'all. It's lifted. See, now I want to see it. If they make another Friday the 13th, maybe I'll I should see Bad Blood at some point. Anyway, thank you all for being here. Thank you very much for all your support and how nice you are to me. There'll probably just be a short tomorrow, and I very much would like to get every Nelvana show ever out this weekend. And then we'll talk about other stuff. The show was too short? What do you mean? I did a full thing, I think. But it did go by really quickly. You are right about that. But thank you all for your support. I hope you liked the few videos. Just, if it is Father's Day, just hand your dad a beer and let him fall asleep in front of a submarine movie or whatever thing he's watching. World Cup or, whatever. Just let your dad fall asleep on the couch. That's the most dads want. Hey, Medela Butterfly for the win there. I was like, oh, we didn't know Medela Butterfly sign. Cheers to you, man. I like the random sense in there. All right. No, I know you're joking. But it did go by quickly. Anyway, thank you all very much. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for watching, liking, all those things. I think there'll be some cool videos coming up, and I will see you all next time. Take care of each other. Be nice to your dad. Be nice to your mom for putting up with your dad. And I'll see you all next time. Have a good... Oh, wait. I'm doing the wrong thing. Have a good night. Peace. And see you later. All right. Bye, guys.